All right, we are live and we are here from the Shoshone Rose Casino in Lander, Wyoming again. And I'm here, Mark, and I've got Brantley here, Cowboy Slots. Looks like a quiet crew today, so we'll just do a couple little topics here. We were going to have a special guest, but he wasn't able to make it. So unfortunately, we're going to have a kind of a shorter show today, but that's okay.
Hey, that's all right.
We'll talk about a couple of things here and then we'll just rock and roll. And if you have any questions, go ahead and start asking them now because this could be a short one. So the first big announcement that I want to make is that I'm finally rebranding the channel to just Home Slots. When I started the channel 3 or 4 years ago, I always wanted that one, but somebody took it. And I found out just a couple of months ago that they released it. So it was never in use. Somebody just registered it and used it sparingly. And I was like, well, just let me have that one. Because I never really liked the fun at the end, but it was like one of those things where you're trying to come up with something and you just can't really nail it down because it's hard when something's already taken. So anyway, we are going to now be just Home Slots. And I'm doing Brantley's going to help me with some thumbnails and stuff because Photoshop and me just do not get along. So, but the other thing, Tammy, I got to let you know too, is that the URL has changed. So it's the youtube.com/home slots now. So not the fun at the end. So when you start pasting that in there, we'll just trim that out. And it's going to be difficult. I know people are going to go to the old URL and because it's linked on your channel and stuff. And it's just, that's part of the fun of rebranding. It's not something you really want to do, but if I want to really take this channel to where I want to take it, it's better to do it now than once I get to the size where it's impossible to do it. So anyway, I'm excited about it. It's not really a big deal, but I think it's less weird sounding. Yeah. My wife makes fun of me, and if you're out there watching, I changed it because you annoyed me about it. So, so there you go.
Home Slots.
So it's just Home Slots, and I already see a question in there. Why did you change your profile picture? That's because the old one was just a top dollar symbol. It doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't really belong to my channel. So I thought I'll put my avatar up there, but Brantley's going to help me kind of fine tune that a little bit. But I kind of wanted to do it all at once, just so we can, it makes sense basically. So,
and you're coming out with the new logo and
right,
and some other new branded stuff.
That's right.
So that'll be good.
It's good to do this before I start ordering things like chips and all that. And I'm not even close to doing that yet.
Right.
So.
And we got Gulf Coast Slots
here.
Gulf
Coast Slots. How's it going? Love your channel. Absolutely.
It is a great channel. I really do like that one.
Where'd you get the new one? Oh, my avatar. I had somebody make that for me 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even remember, but and Game on the Globe says top dollar picture makes sense to me, but I have a problem. Yeah, you have a top dollar problem, and it has a problem with you. So anyway, a couple of topics that we wanted to talk about today that we thought were kind of interesting was there's 2 casinos up here. Well, there's 3. We can talk about that other one. No. But
there's 2.
There's 2 big casinos here, and we're at the Shoshone Rose here in Lander, Wyoming. And then there's another one, Wind River, which is the largest casino in Wyoming. Yeah. Okay, so it's the largest one, and it's closer to Riverton, right? Yeah. Okay, Riverton. I'm just trying to learn the geographics of this area. It's difficult. And we've noticed some very stark differences between the layouts of these casinos. The Rose is in my opinion, very well laid out. The lighting is good. The carpet seems fresh. They have raised floors, which if you guys don't know what that means that there's like 4 feet of crawl space underneath all of the slot machines on the floor. And so they can basically put machines wherever they want to put them. And run the cabling under the ground. So you don't have to be restricted to walls and things like that.
Which is really nice.
Absolutely. So they can move the floor and change it whenever they want. I'm not a huge fan of the machines they have there, but they're trying to change that because we're a different audience than what typical visitors they have here. But they do have a lot of the newer machines that people like, a lot of the video stuff. They have the Lightning Link and what's the Dragon? Not Dragon.
Yeah, the Dragon Link.
Anything. Yeah, Dragon Link. That's it. So they've got those. But then the Wind River, I don't know. To me, it just feels, it's kind of dimly lit. It feels like it's kind of old. I don't know. This is just the kind of feeling I had.
A lot more of an older feel to it. The only thing that I really love about the Wind River Casino is the fact that they have all of those old school machines and they have a lot of them. So there's a ton of old school machines. And then the other thing is all of their machines are multi-denom.
Right.
Which is really great.
That's
so
right.
if you want to play high limit, you can play high limit on any machine that you pretty much want to.
That's true. And they have a lot of machines. What is it, over 800 or something? I can't remember. But
they're pretty big. Table games.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that.
I never saw anybody at the table games when we were there.
No.
So I guess it's just all slot machines or bust. But anyway, yeah, I just think it's interesting that, every casino is laid out differently, and we don't know what goes into their minds about how they, pick where machines go. I felt like the Wind River Casino was everything was kind of mixed and matched. Like you had the S3000 pinball, and then you have like a really old double jackpot next to it, and these other games that I've never even heard of. There's manufacturers before.
There's like 3-4 brands of slot machines that are mixed in and jumbled together, and it doesn't really make sense, which is weird.
I think so,
for a casino to do.
And I guess maybe it doesn't make a big difference, but for me, I guess visually I want it to be enticing to come in. When I first walked through the rows, and I said this on our live stream, I looked at the pictures. I'm like, this place looks incredibly small. This is just a really small casino, and it is in comparison to other Las Vegas casinos and such, but it's just very welcoming. I don't know what it is. It's just the way everything's laid out, and
it's very easy to get around.
It's smoke free. They're a smoke free facility, which I think is outstanding, because that's something that will drive me out of a casino any day, is the smoke. And even though Wind River is smoking, it didn't smell bad or anything like that, so it was pretty good. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, we're kind of just. This may be the last one of these that we do. I don't know.
Keep those questions coming, guys.
Keep the questions coming. So
for sure.
And can you tell the stolen Wheel of Fortune story? I wonder how it ended. Yeah, I can, because I think I told you.
Yeah.
So
wait, is that when the Wheel of Fortune stole our money?
No, that's another story. Right. Wheel of Misfortune always steals your money. No, this was so the one thing that, for private ownership of slot machines, the question that I always get is, well, do you have any Wheel of Fortunes? And the answer is always no. I do not have any. You will not find any. And even if I did, I couldn't sell it to you. I couldn't even announce that I had it. And so the story is that somebody did have an S2000. It wasn't necessarily stolen. Well, I guess it is stolen because it doesn't belong to them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they paid a dealer for it, but anyway, they went bragging on one of the popular forums, which happened to be New Life Games, which this is where a lot of people like me, slot technicians and stuff, go for information and looking for, game ROMs and all that kind of stuff, parts. And anyway, that site is very heavily monitored by all the manufacturers. So it's not a site that it's like incognito where you can just post whatever. So anyway, this guy went on there and started posting and bragging about the Wheel of Fortune that he found, and had pictures of it and everything. And so IGT tracked him down, and they took it from him and also issued a $1 million fine against him for having that, because you're not supposed to have those other machines are fine, but licensed machines like Wheel of Fortune is a big no-no. I have been offered several times to buy a Wheel of Fortune. I refuse to do it. I just don't want to be part of that. And so it'd be fun to have, don't get me wrong, but not for me. Definitely not. So, all right. Bonus time slides. Good to see you. Class 2 and 3 at both. No, these are all class 3.
All class 3.
All class 3. There's no bingo servers to be had here.
Wyoming does not have class 2 gaming at all. All of our casinos are class 3. We only have 3 casinos in the entire state, and they're all right here within the same area. So we've got the Rose, and we've got Wind River, which is the biggest, and then we have a little tiny casino, which, to be honest,
we need
there.
I want to hear the story about this.
Worst it's called Little Wind, and it is about the size of a garage. They have probably 20 slot machines, and it is the worst. So I say we have 2 casinos. State says we have 3 casinos.
I got you.
But we also, here in Wyoming, most every single bar has skill machines, which do pay out very well. I made $3,000 off of a skill machine just a couple of days ago. And then we also have historical horse racing machines, and we have a chain called Wyoming Downs, and they're in a lot of the major cities. and those have all HHR machines. So we have 3 different types of gambling here in Wyoming. But as for the casinos, those are all class 3.
Okay.
We do not have any class 2.
So can you talk a little bit about the skill-based games? Because I don't know. I've never even seen or played them. How does it look?
Yeah,
How does it work?
With the skill-based games, which we can always go down to a bar later. And I can show you the skill-based games. But basically what it is it does not so it generates what's called a puzzle. So it'll have 3 reels, but a puzzle comes up on the screen. And what essentially you have to do is you have to select a square to make it wild. To create a pattern on the screen that would be a winning pattern. Sometimes there are no patterns to be made, and other times there are. So you kind of have to pay attention and select the right square, because if you select the wrong square, you lose. But some of those games, they do have bonuses. The game that I play has 2 different bonuses.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about them is you can actually see the puzzles in advance. So you can see one puzzle in advance on what the next puzzle is going to be. So if you run out of money, you can actually check to see if the next puzzle is going to be a winner. And
so
if it's a winner,
get you to put more money in.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah.
But they are fun machines. They're typically, the highest bet you do is $3 on them.
Oh, okay.
So they're not high limit by any means.
So is it kind of a mix of randomness and skill play, like a video poker type thing?
It's like a mix of both, but I mean it's all it's almost kind of like a lottery ticket in a sense, because the next one is already determined. I got you. You just got to be the right timing, and you just have to select the right square. Well, and the weird thing is timing actually doesn't matter on those, because all the puzzles are predetermined. So if you were to click the spin button and have a puzzle come up, and then you could let it sit there for 2 years, and the next puzzle is still going to be the same. Right. So you always know it's different. But
that sounds different.
Yeah, but you can make good money off of them.
Clearly. Off a $3 bet, 3,000 is pretty crazy.
3,000 off of
that's pretty good. What are you doing here then?
Right,
you should still be in the bar.
Hey, I'm ready to go play some pinball.
Oh, okay.
I like
pinball or bust. I told Brantley he needs to get the pinball logo tattooed on.
Yeah,
his,
maybe
that'll be his next tattoo, is the pinball logo.
Instead of cowboy, maybe
the pinball. There you go.
Something like that.
Oh, too funny. So Ashley Sumner says, "Hey guys, do casinos position their best return slot machines where customers can see it from 4 sides?" Well, you can see any machine from 4 sides, but the thing is, you don't know. There was rumors early on, in the early days, that they used to do that, but that's mostly not true anymore. And even if it were, you would not know what their plan is, where they put those machines. And as we always say all the time, the variance in the payback percentage between those machines and their location is so small that you would never notice and be able to determine yourself if the machine is in a certain location and that's the paying machine or not.
Well, and not only that too, but it's not a general, and just kind of summarize, it's not a general casino practice for them to do.
Right.
Casinos don't, put better return machines by the door or anything. That's kind of an old school myth.
Right.
It's not a general practice.
Right.
More so, the casinos like to highlight particular games from manufacturers, or if a new game comes out, like when Lightning Link and Dragon Link first came out, a lot of casinos put those right by the entrance to let people know, hey, we have this new game coming to play. That's right. Has nothing to do with return on them at all.
Yeah, and one of the things I asked one of the slot technicians here is that the leased games, or the partnership games, they sometimes do have to put those in certain locations, because that's part of the lease agreement, is it needs to be in a visible location so people will go and play it. And again, those are just machines that they don't buy outright, so the casino doesn't have full ownership of the machine. They take a portion of it, and the manufacturer gets the other portion of the funds that go through it. But they sometimes don't have a say. They can't go put it in the dark corner in the room. They want to feature it prominently, but it's not because it's a machine that's set at a low payback or anything like that. It's just they want it to be visible so people will see it.
Yeah.
And that top dollar premium that's in here is actually in a new position. DJ said that it was somewhere over here close to the Lightning Links, and nobody was playing it because nobody ever walked back here as often as they do back in that corner. And so they moved it there, and the value of the machine jumped because people are now playing it. It's more visible. But again, it has nothing to do with the payback percentage or anything. They're trying to get these machines played, because if they're not getting any use, then they need to replace the machine with something that will get some use.
Pinball.
And that's, yeah, right. You can replace that premium with pinball. I'd be fine with that. Good question, though. Thank you. Gamble Globe says, change the question. The order machines have the 4-way selector, the older machines.
The touchpads.
Right. Yeah. Versus the new machines with the digital screen. Any thoughts on the older style being different where it's not?
Honestly, there's not any difference. I mean, the programming is still the programming. Okay. The selector really doesn't have anything to do with that, because there's also another type. There's the old school that doesn't have the touchpad, but it has the button. It's usually like a little blue button. You click on the side. But no, there's no real difference of it. Personally, it's not really something that I think about a lot. But I kind of like I do kind of like the newer style, because it kind of highlights it more. But the older touchpad is, I think, a little bit easier. Yeah, because it's right there.
I think it can be problematic too, because I've had a lot come in that, you sit there and you just, your thumb is on it, like constantly using your nail, and you just can't get it to switch, where the button is just easy, where you can just push it. But, it's just different technologies, and, there's no difference in programming or anything like that. So
no difference. Good question, though.
Yeah.
Good question.
So how did they find him? The Wheel of Fortune guy? I have no idea. Probably a sting operation. They probably messaged him, and I mean, I'm not going to speculate. Tried to buy it from him. You never know. Like you never know. But you're asking a lot of questions. Do you own a Wheel of Fortune machine? And like Gamble goes, like selecting a new machine. Yeah, we talked about that on Sunday too. It's everything is different. I mean, the accounting record's different. So when you switch to a new denomination, if you go and look at the accounting record, it's going to show the coin in and coin out of that denomination that's selected. So changing a denomination is basically like moving to another machine that just has that single denomination. So big plus, no class 2, win star disgruntled. Yeah.
For sure. Next time you come up to Yellowstone.
Absolutely. You should. And the hotel here is really nice. It's very comfortable. I mean, I stayed in 2 hotels on the way up here, and they were both garbage compared to this place. So stay at the Rose for sure. And the rates are good, and it's comfortable. And, the casino is very quiet. Like I said, it's a nice place. It's just, everybody's so friendly. So. And Deb C says, do you think most slot players are superstitious when playing? Do either of you have any superstitions? We were joking about this.
Yeah, we joke about it.
We don't follow our own rules sometimes. Yeah, because we can be bad sometimes.
The cool thing about gambling, though, is you always want to have in the forefront that gambling is there for entertainment. Right. And that's something that we share.
Right.
And a lot of times when we go into play, I know I do this too, I'm going in to have fun. And in my mind, I've already lost the money. So I know, like, a lot of times, if I put $1,000 into a machine, and if I get it up to like $2,000, most people would say, oh, stop, you doubled your money. But for me, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun, and I intended
staying within your budget.
I already had written that $1,000 off. Right. So as for superstitions, though, I don't have any.
I don't either. The rubbing of the screen. I've seen people here already doing a lot of that stuff.
I do get excited when I see those triples
thumping the glass.
Something like that. I still get excited about that. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's exciting.
Whatever works for you. I mean, just don't beat the machine with your fist. That's the only thing I'd say, because you will be on the hook if you break the machine. But everybody has superstitions, not just with slot machines, but everything else. Lucky rabbit, whatever you have.
I remember was it the 90s, those rabbit's foot?
No, the rabbit's feet. Yeah, you have it on your you had it on your keychain.
Yeah, like those fuzzy dice people used to hang in.
That's right. So like Dale says, there's a Wind River here, and it's a pretty common name for but it's actually the Wind River tribe, isn't it? That's the name of it. So that's why
it's the tribe is the Arapaho tribe.
Oh, okay.
But I think they call themselves the Wind River tribe too.
I just noticed when I was passing through.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
welcome to the Wind River.
The Wind River Reservation.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kevin Deal says, why do they set higher denom games to a higher payout percent, like your channel? You want to take that one?
So the reason being is actually very simple. So for starters, if you go to play a penny machine, if I put $100 in a penny machine, I could sit there all night. I could sit there all night and I could spin it, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. If I put $100 in a $100 slot machine,
that's right.
It's one and done. The reason being is because with the higher limit machines, people are not playing them as often. They don't spin as many times. And, obviously you want to give your higher limit players back something. Right. You wouldn't want those odds to be set to where you have to spin it 1,000 times, right. To get something.
You'll never get them back.
Yeah. So it's really just a matter of volume. The high limit machines, they're spun less people play them. Less player holdability, which is another metric that the casino likes to use. So that's really the main reason. And that's not just that way with slot machines. It's actually like that with anything involving
lottery scratch tickets.
Gambling. If you look at lottery tickets.
Yeah, lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets always tell you, at the bottom, like odds of winning are like 1 in 6 or something like that. If you go buy a $1 lottery ticket and you look on it, it'll say your odds of winning are like 1 in 25. Right. You go and buy a $100 lottery ticket or a $50 lottery ticket, and it says your odds of winning are like 1 in 3.
Right.
So it's like that way with any form of gambling. Is the higher the limit, obviously not as many people are buying them.
Right.
They don't sell as many. There's not as many out there, so they make the odds better.
Yeah.
And that is consistent. And that's one of those things, because I know we talk a lot about differences with the casino. Right. The high denom, higher payback, that is a universally consistent industry practice. It does not matter if you are on the East Coast, the West Coast, middle of the country. The higher the denom, the better the odds are going to be.
Right.
Plain and simple.
And that's totally confirmed by the return to player statistics, because you can tell over time, that you can see the graph and you can see the higher denominations are always up the top, and then it kind of goes down. You might have some interchange, like a 25-cent machine might climb higher than a 50-cent machine at some point. But in general, the higher the denom you go, the more the payback is going to be. So absolutely. And Gamble Globe says, I would like to meet a gambler without any superstitions. You're probably right on that. Probably right. All right. Just looking through the questions here. Thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, we appreciate those questions, guys.
We kind of looked at each other before we started, and it's like, wait, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
We're just having too much fun here. So, all right.
Pre-marketed banks.
Now they have the pre-marketed banks, like the 4-round invaders from Planet Moolah.
Oh, yeah, I know what he's talking about.
It's the size of the huge fridge.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one, but
where it's like the manufacturer does like the whole bank of machines.
Oh, okay.
And they're advertising not just one, but like the entire bank. I've seen that too. Yeah.
Okay. And that practice, I mean, have you been to the grocery store before?
Mm-hmm. Like the end
they buy the end caps and stuff, and they rent that space, and it's very similar in the casino, for leased machines. They all fight for, and I would imagine, I don't know, because I don't know the lease agreements, but I would imagine that, to get the prominent location where everybody can see it, they probably have to take a lesser percentage than, competing manufacturers that want their machines in, just like it is in a grocery store or any other place where there's, the end caps and all that kind of stuff, department stores, whatever you name it. Let's see. Craig Bradley says, when I change denomination, I hear the machine does a click noise inside. Well, it depends on the machine. That could be the solenoid that is on the actual arm. Yeah. If you remember, whenever you click like bet one, or if you click cash out or anything like that, hold on a second. I just got to block this user because, oh, that's nice. I can't block the user. Tammy, if you could get that. Tammy, I don't know if you're Gamble Globe will get it. I know he's a moderator. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to get distracted there. That one shows up in every single live stream I've ever been on.
Of every single channel.
So anyway, just ignore it until Gamble Globe gets to it. But anyway, the clicking noise is not like the CPU like recalculating or anything like that.
It's just normally a sound effect.
It's a sound effect on some machines. On others, it's locking the handle until you make your bet. Those types of things. That's the little solenoid I told you about. That's what makes the clicking sound on the older machines when the reel hits and you hear a little click, click, click. It's just a little solenoid. It's like this little metal rod, and it just hits the side of the machine every time it makes that click. But it also does that whenever it's locking the handle from being pulled, like you haven't bet yet or something like that. So, all right. Yes, that's the message right there. Stay within your budget and never take your debit card.
Exactly.
Don't take your credit cards either, because they'll cash anything.
They will.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Poor farm.
Let's see. Hey, Brantley, I'm the guy that posted the pic of my major jackpot on your Facebook page earlier. It was because of y'all's tips and some good luck for my lucky Cowboy Sluts poker chip.
Right.
Thanks again. Hey, you're very welcome. Congratulations on your win. We love hearing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love hearing that.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks
very
for
much.
sharing it.
And for supporting both of the channels.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
I got my mod stuff.
All right, let's see. Yeah, as long as you're smart and don't go back in.
Yeah.
That's always the catch. All right, here's another one from bonus time slots. If a pay table shows a bonus for the top symbol for the same denom, doesn't that indicate a different payback percentage of the max coins? If a pay table shows a bonus for the top symbol for the same denom, does that indicate a different payback percentage? I'm not. I guess I'm not. Are you understanding? I'm not understanding.
Honestly, it shouldn't. So I don't know of any machine that has a different set payback percentage for coin in or for bet amount within the same denomination.
Oh, I see.
All the payback percent is specific to the denomination.
Right.
So whatever you're betting within that, it shouldn't change.
I have yet to see a machine or a game, and I've had just about every manufacturer through my shop, and I haven't seen any that allow you to set a different payback percentage on bet amount.
Right.
It's always on the denomination. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. Some of the newer machines might have that. I don't know, but I have not seen that yet. And I've worked on quite a few machines. So if it is, it's something new that they're doing. Tammy says, have you bought a Mega Millions? I know you did. You sent me a picture of it.
I bought quite a few. I won $30 off of my ticket last
Well, you just got to buy $1 billion worth, and then you're almost guaranteed to win, right?
Yeah, right.
All right. So Gulf Coast Slot says $5 denom. Would RTB be the same? So 2 credit and 3 credits. Yep. Absolutely.
Exactly the same.
And by the way, I got this question again in the email yesterday. Somebody was asking me, or one of the subscribers was asking me about Top Dollar and about the difference between 2 coins and 3 coins. And should I play the one that's 3 coins because that means the bonus will appear more frequently or the bonus amounts will be higher? No, we actually revealed that last week.
Last episode.
Yeah, the last episode last week, that it doesn't matter. The only difference is the base game. If you're betting 2 coins and you've got that second pay table, it's basically doubling your first coin win. But there's no benefit between the 2 and 3 credit. And especially when it comes to return to player or payback percentage, again, it's all set on the denomination. So
exactly,
not the bet amount. And Sean says, in your experience, do you worry after hitting some decent bets on a slot bonus, free games, that the game will cool off? Check and balance is right. Always seems the machine cools off.
It always seems like that.
Yeah.
It always seems like that, but no, not necessarily. There have been a lot of times that even on pinball, which pinball is not necessarily the easiest bonus to get, but even on pinball, I have had times where I've gotten a jackpot, gotten paid out, and then on the spinoff got pinball again.
Right.
Eventually it's going to stop doing that because it's because it's not common. It's not common for it to do that. Right. So it's not that the machine is cooling off. It's just that it's, going back to normal.
That's right.
It's not, because that's not common. But
it's this is one of those things that I people are always going to believe that there's a hot and cold machine and you should play this machine. And, even your friends like, where are the good machines in here? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't, I have a clue. But it's machines just don't cool off or get hot or anything like that. Like we've said many times before, it takes a very long time for that machine to balance out. It's not something that you will ever notice or experience in your play session. Exactly. Even if you set up that machine for a week straight and played it for a week straight, you're going to see up and down, maybe sometimes where it's a little high and sometimes it's a little low. But the thing is it's not predictable, and they're built that way and programmed that way to not be predictable, because they do not want a human to have any kind of manipulation over a slot machine. Exactly. And the way they do that is to have that random number generator, but also have a pay table that's very large and takes a very long time to balance out. And I'll use this example because I always do, but if you go watch the top dollar video that I did 3,100 spins on, it started out at 0%, and I set the payback percentage to 93%. And after 3,200 spins or 3,100 spins, the payback return to player was around 24%. Yeah. So it was nowhere close to the 93% that I set after 3,200 spins. And it took me a week of filming and coming back and play. That's a lot of spins. And it's still not close. And what I'm trying to do now is to have a machine that I don't clear, and I'm just going to have it be set forever and see if I can just keep it that way and play it. So you guys can see that even over 20,000 spins, it still may not be close to that payback percentage. And the way that they control that is that before the manufacturer ships the machine, they run simulations. They will simulate gameplay over 1 million spins, because they can do that. They know the programming of the machine. They can skip all the stuff that you see, like the bonuses and all that, and they just spit out what the amounts are. And they can run those simulations for 1 million spins or 2 million spins or whatever the threshold is that they consider to be good. And it will come out to the setting. And if it doesn't, they have to go back and reprogram the base or the pay table so that it does, end up at that percentage. So that's how they control the random number generators, the random aspect of the machine. But then the pay table is what is actually controlling the payback percentage and the return to the player. So it's a very complicated topic. I've done a video. Brantley did a good video with a deck of cards. You can go watch that one. I thought that one was good too, if you're more of a visual person. But it's just something to be aware of, that there is no cooling off and hot phases. Right. It just seems that way. It's coincidence because you just happen to notice it. Boy, this machine was paying off and now I'm not getting anything. No bonuses, nothing. It must be on the take. No, it's just the way it is. And the moment you press that spin button is when it decides that. It has no previous knowledge of what happened before or after. It's an independent event every time you hit that button. So
exactly.
We will probably get that question every single live show we do. So we will keep explaining it the best way we can. And why do some states allow purchase of home slot machines and other states prohibit that? I don't know.
Yeah, there's not really reasoning behind it.
There's no rhyme or reason at all.
No.
Texas is wide open. Any machine, any age, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Arizona is too.
That's right, Arizona. I always thought, well, it's the ones that have casinos in them because they don't want people to.
Yeah.
But that's not true either. There are some. Oh, I got a super chat. Wow. I think this is the first super chat I ever had. So thanks for your answer. Well, I should have said I'm always on a cool machine, never win.
Thank you, Sean. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll find your how do you get that to show up?
Scroll down there. Well, it should be down.
I got you.
There we go.
Sorry, I just want to make sure you got on the screen. This is my first super chat, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that. Now I forgot what I was talking about.
You're good.
All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the states. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. Ohio is a gambling state, but it's wide open.
So is Arizona.
So Arizona's a gambling state. So they're old laws. I don't usually have any kind of issues with people buying machines in other states, but you should always look up the rules and be compliant with that, because we don't want anybody to get into trouble, for sure. and always sending me another super chat.
Super sticker.
Awesome. Super sticker. All right, Sean, you're just all over the place. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, what's going back to that one the question about the machines. What I find really funny is there are only 2 states in the entire country that do not allow gambling at all. So no lottery, no class 2, no class 3, nothing. And that's Utah and Hawaii. However, Utah, it's perfectly legal to own any machine you want to. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it's strange. They make it's no rhyme or reason, like you said.
No rhyme or reason.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping a lot of that will change, and I know that you were even trying to get some of that changed in Wyoming. So, contact your representative and say, "Hey, what's the deal? This is a 30-year-old law. Why do you care about this so much?" Like, it's not like you can do anything with the machine. I mean,
well, in a lot of states too that do have the restrictions. Some states are a lot more strict than others,
right?
But there are some states out there that have you ever heard of like those dead laws? Like they're laws that are on the the weird
like
ones.
You can't have like toilet paper in your back seat.
It's like weird laws, like you can't ride a camel backwards through town or something like that. Some of the slot machine laws in some states are actually treated like that, where they're on the books, but they're not enforced.
Yeah. I'm sure there are a very strict state, and there are some that are on my list that I will not ship to. California is one of them. I think Alabama is one. Louisiana is one. But that's close enough to Texas. People can come get it. But I'm not going to ship it. That's on them. That's not on me. But it's a funny thing. It's not going to change unless you contact your representative and ask to get it changed, because it's not a popular thing. Like you said, it's the dead law philosophy. It's going to be around forever until people say we don't want it anymore. So, and Ray Rivera says, I've noticed that some slot games have theoretical odds of 90 plus. Is that a good thing to go by when picking a slot machine for better payouts? And does the odd probability become better when betting? Well, the thing is you don't know. You do not know what each individual machine is set at unless you are an employee of the casino.
Right.
You just cannot know each machine, you know what it is.
Well, and 2, the most important thing is looking at the volatility, really, of the machine and what kind of game it is. Right. You could have 2 games that are both set to 98%. And you could have a triple diamond at 98%, and you could have a
10 times pay
at 98%. You're going to want to choose the triple diamond because of its volatility. It's less volatile than the 10 times pay.
That's right.
You got to consider that as well, more importantly than the percentages.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we've said that, we both say that, don't get caught up in the payback percentages, because it's not something you're going to notice. And you should pick a machine, one, that you have fun playing, and number 2, a machine that is low in volatility. If you're really looking to stretch your bankroll, those are the 2 things that we always talk about.
There's a lot of machines that people want me to play, and they're like, "Oh, play this machine, play this machine." I don't like that machine.
Lightning Link.
I'm not going to play that machine. I don't like it.
Yeah. All right. What tip would you give someone that goes to a tribal casino? Just go.
Have fun. Honestly, don't get caught up in the myths that tribal casinos are less regulated or less lucky or anything like that. Guys, a lot of these tribal casinos out there have very, very excellent machines with great numbers and great return to players and everything. They're really, really good. So I wouldn't get caught up in that.
Yeah, another myth is, like you mentioned before, not all tribal casinos are class 2.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind. And like Brantley's always saying, if you're not sure, call them up and ask. Are you a class 2 or a class 3 facility? They're not going to say, "Well, we can't tell you that."
They'll answer it for you.
They'll definitely answer that
for sure.
So, honestly, I think tribal casinos are some of the best I've been to, because people are so friendly. You don't feel like I feel like a bunch of robots in some of these other casinos.
I'll tell you this. I've gone to Las Vegas a lot in my lifetime. I've gone to Wendover a lot. I've gambled at a lot of different privately owned, corporate owned casinos. And there have been a lot of times in Las Vegas, I could go and spend $5,000 and lose my ass. But here in Wyoming, it's a small tribal casino way out, far away from any major city. And I have hit a jackpot 100% of the time.
That's right.
Every single time. And I'm not exaggerating.
Right.
At all. I'm not
I watched
this
them do
is
it.
the first state. This is the first. Wyoming is the only state in the country. It's actually the only place in the world that I've ever gambled at that I have won every single time.
Right.
Every single trip I have come home with a W2G.
Yep.
Every time.
So bust that myth. There's no tip about going to a tribe casino. Just go and have fun and stay away from the class 2. I think we both agree to that.
I'm a huge fan of class 2.
But class 3, you're good. And thank you, Gamble the Globe. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your moderation.
Yeah, very much. Bonus time slots instead of 1,000 to 2,000 to go to that. I think you're talking about the max, just kind of the juicer for the top jackpots.
Yeah.
And that answers the question. Maybe this is like Jeopardy, where he's giving us a statement and we have to give the question. So I suspect the question is there any benefit to betting 2 coins over 1 coin or 3 coins over 2 coin? If there's no bonuses involved, do the max bet if there's some kind of, like, I call it a juicer, where
budget really.
Yeah. A budget always. Yeah. But if you get that extra $500 for betting max, it may be worth playing the max credits instead of just a single credit.
Yeah.
But a lot of them they don't have any kind of benefit over it. So you can just play 1 credit and, have the same pay table basically.
Yeah. Simon's here. It's a slot machine.
Hey,
Hi,
Simon.
How
How's
are
it going?
you?
Yeah, it is. It's great. We've had a good week so far, and we'll be here Sunday morning too. I think.
Yep,
I think you'll be here. So we'll do on the Cowboy Slots channel. We'll do a live show there. And although you're going to go live for the car giveaway, aren't you?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Might be live. Might just record it. I don't know.
Okay.
Y'all let me know
Depends
what you
on the
want to
rules,
see.
yeah.
Depends on the. Well, there's going to be a lot of people there, so I would have to.
Right.
I would have to see. It might be a recorded.
Okay.
Mark and I both have a ton of entries into that car giveaway.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ton.
We'll see.
One of us might be leaving with the car. We don't know.
Won't be me. It'll be
we
you
don't
for
know.
sure.
No.
So more points. Let's see. 2 coins your budget will go furthest.
Good advice.
Yep, absolutely.
Good advice.
I try and give bits of knowledge that I learned the hard way. Yeah, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your channel too. So thanks for everything.
Gotta love Gamble the Globe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bonus time slots. I've had 3 pinball bonuses in a row. What's your record?
In a row?
That's pretty good.
I play pinball all the time, and I gotta say that's pretty good. I've only ever had 2 back to back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never hit the 1,000.
I don't think anybody's hit it.
But with as much as I play it, I mean, hell, if it were closer, I'd play it every single day.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, that's why you just need one for your house. So you can just turn around and play it. Strange question. Your favorite slot machine part and why?
Part.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a tough question. Whatever makes it work.
The cash out button.
The cash out button, right? I like it.
The jackpot light.
Yeah, the jackpot light.
I like
the candle. The candle.
Yeah, I like the candle.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, and Kevin says you guys have the most informative slot channel out there. Good job. Thank you.
We
we're both trying really hard. We're doing 2 different things, but we come together and it's been a blast. And let's see, next one. Hide. Whoa. Sorry, guys.
Around there we go.
So Dave said, how much video poker is skill-based versus luck RNG? Are the cards you choose draw each hand predetermined RNG? So there was an excellent interview that Brantley on Cowboy Slots did with American Casino Guide on video poker. And this is something I didn't know until I watched that video. So I don't want to spoil it, but go watch that video because it will really enlighten you. But
it's in my video library on Cowboy Slots. So if you go to the Cowboy Slots page, just look in the video library. You'll see a photo. I believe it's titled Video Poker 101 or all about video poker. And it explains a lot. It explains entirely how video poker works, how it's handled, everything. It is a great episode. Absolutely. And I was so happy and so proud to work with the American Casino.
Oh yeah, these guys have been around for 10 years on YouTube, and I mean, I think their top video has 10 million views or something crazy.
And they've got like 200 and something thousand subscribers.
I've read his book before, back in the day when he was publishing. I don't think he's publishing a book anymore, but They have been in this industry and interviewed some really top people that we could only dream of getting interviews with.
Oh yeah.
And so definitely check them out if you want to, get some of those like detailed questions answered. But that was a great video, and I learned stuff about video poker that I didn't know. So yeah, definitely go watch that. All right. Absolutely.
Correct.
No machine is due to hit. That's one of the biggest psychology things that slot machines are programmed to do, is to make you think that it's due. You're on a losing streak. It's got to pay out.
There's no due date.
It's got to pay out.
Unless it's a must hit by Progressive,
that's
and
the
then
only
it's
thing.
due at some point.
That's true, but still, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right. Nate B says, I saw at Bally's AC a triple star machine in high limit. I plan on going back in August. Was $5 machine. Plan on playing $10 to spin max bet 4,000. Would you recommend this machine?
Yes. Yeah.
I would. There's no way he's going to say no to that question.
I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, triple stars is his favorite. So, do online slots use an RNG generator? They might. The thing is that we don't.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, and they're not. Most of them are not regulated.
Yeah, don't stay away from online slots.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some good ones out there,
Caesars, but
no, stay away from online slots. It's not worth it.
And I think, the one thing that I think is really dangerous about, online gambling in general, and I've had problems in the past about gambling online, is it's too convenient.
Yep.
It's too convenient to just wake up and, you go to the bathroom and you're sitting on the toilet and you're playing blackjack or something, it's like,
right.
That's not a good experience in my mind. You want to go to the casino and have some fun, the bells, the lights, the music, the comps, online casinos probably don't give you a lot of comps, And
then you got to wait days to get your money.
Yeah, you got to get,
it's just fun.
It just doesn't sound like a good idea. But to answer your question, nobody really knows, if they are or not. And if they're regulated and they're like the big top properties like Caesars or that's the only one I know of. But MGM, then there's probably a random number generator involved, and they're probably very similar to the programming of the actual machines in the casino. But stay away from those that are not licensed and regulated, because that's
we
not a good idea.
Recommend online slots.
Definitely not. All right, next question. Why do licensed machines have to be returned or destroyed?
So I had the first job that I ever had in my entire life, and I'm gonna date myself here. First job I ever had was working for Blockbuster.
Okay.
I worked for Blockbuster, and
let me guess, movie posters.
Yeah, right. So I worked for Blockbuster, and actually a lot of times we would get a shipment of brand new movies in that had just been released, and if the company sent too many, we actually had a destroyer that we would have to take the DVDs and we'd have to punch holes in them and destroy them.
Wow.
Even if they were brand new. So we'd have to open a brand new DVD that nobody's ever even seen before, and we had to punch it.
Crazy.
It's just licensing, because the manufacturers, they don't want, you make money off of your image.
Right.
It's kind of like
exclusivity too.
Exclusivity. So it's like if you have and you lose control of that. So like if you, say, for example, if you're an artist and you have a piece of art out there for sale that's, $500. We'll just say you have a poster for sale for $500 and you sell it, you're making $500 off of that one sale. But if somebody copies it and starts handing it out to people, then you lose track, and now you're not getting the revenue from that. Right. So you want to make sure that you're getting the proper revenue from the proper stream that actually paid for the service.
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why.
Yeah, and to bring back the example of Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune, the theme is IGT's most valuable property that they own, and they do not want anybody to have unlicensed versions of that game or any game even similar to that.
Right.
And they don't even want it out on the public market, because they don't want, people like us to have them, but also casinos to buy them outside of the licensing agreements. Right. And so that, if you think about, if that was your number one profit maker and you owned a company and that was your number one profit maker, would you want it to get out? or would you want to control the process of who owns it and how they own it? And all
you got to control your content
because it's so valuable to them that they can't risk, losing control over that. And the other thing to remember is that, IGT is in partnership with Sony Pictures, because Sony Pictures actually owns the rights to the Wheel of Fortune game. And so they have to keep that arrangement happy, because if IGT pisses off Sony Pictures, there's nothing stopping Sony Pictures from going to WMS or Scientific Games or any of these other Bally. Well, those are all being bought and sold over again, but there's nothing stopping them from pulling that license from IGT and taking it to another manufacturer. So they have to control that. And so it's destroyed. It makes me sad, because I want to have these machines at the house and all that and sell them to people. But sometimes you just can't risk getting that stuff out. And so they have to destroy them. And it's sad, but yeah, just like Blockbuster, I've heard the story with movie posters. That's where I thought you were going, because I've heard that, people try to get you to, just put them by the trash can in the back, and then we'll come pick them up later when it gets dark. It's like they still don't want it to go out. So you're supposed to shred them and all this stuff. It's just crazy.
Exactly.
That's the way the world works. What slot channels do you like to watch? Well, I like all the ones that do classic reels. So Stacy's High Limit Slots. I like East Coast Slots. I like why am I missing? Old School Slots. See who else? Gamble the Globe, of course. Those are mostly the ones that I watch. And I guess this guy. But those are the ones I watch. What about you, Brandley?
I would say my top favorite are Stacy's High Limit Slots, just because Stacy helped me start my channel, and I was watching her long before I had my channel. NJ Slot Guy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
NJ Slot Guy. And then I just recently discovered East Coast Slots, and I love his videos. Their videos are awesome because they play the games that I like.
Pinball,
so I actually
Top Dollar.
I actually sat there. It was only like a couple of days ago, and I actually sat there when I was going to bed one night, and I binge watched East Coast Slots. So East Coast Slots, if you're out there and you're watching this, or if anybody out there knows East Coast Slots, let them know. Cowboy Slots is a big fan.
That's right.
And I just discovered East Coast Slots. And then the other ones that I like, Old School Slots. I like Old School Slots and Top Dollar Mike. I think those are really good channels.
The New Jersey
there's
crew,
a bunch out there. I've never there's not really a slot channel that I don't like to watch. I really enjoy them all. I loved the video where Easy Life Jackpots hit the 1,000 credits, $100,000. That was probably that alone was probably the biggest hit I've ever seen somebody do live on YouTube. So Easy,
that was nuts.
Easy made it big.
Right, definitely.
That was an amazing hit.
He was getting like stacks of 10,000 was thrown in.
I loved that video.
Crazy. All right, Ashley says, our video craps and Blackjack machines use RNG, same as slot machines. So you made. Why don't you take this one, because I know you know the answer to this.
They're programmed a lot alike, but they're not. They don't use like the same kind of, because the reason being that they can't use the same style as a slot machine system would be is because obviously with craps there's only so many numbers on a dice. With blackjack there's only so many cards in a deck. You can't have unlimited choices, so they're programmed a little bit differently. So it's
isn't there a regulation that says that they have to
and
be
there
the
is
same
a regulation. There's a regulation that the games that replicate table games or like video poker, they have to be identical to if you were playing with a deck of cards, so the machine has to replicate that.
Now an example of blackjack, for example, the way that they kind of get more of a house edge is that you can't do things like split aces or there's limitations. Maybe you can only split once, or you can only double down if it's not an ace. There's really strange rules in some of the slot machine versions of blackjack that just limit the play. And the other thing is roulette, video roulette. I've noticed that if you look around, I think on a roulette table, a single number match is 36-1 odds. So you get paid 36 times whatever the amount is, on that chip. But if you go to some of the video slot machines, you'll notice that drops maybe to 32-1 or 34-1. So that's their little house edge, is that they're changing the odds a little bit on the pay. So the game plays exactly the same because it has to, but they can change the rules on what, like they can limit certain things that you can do. In the case of blackjack, or I don't play crap, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. I've never been able to figure that game out for fun or anything. So, but anyway, good question.
Good question. We are almost at an hour.
Yeah, we're almost at an hour. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it's not Sunday. Yeah, this is our Wednesday show. We said it was going to be technical focused, but now it's just like questions, and that's fine. All right. All right, Debsy, there is a machine Tiki I play that has a maxed out major that hasn't hit for a while. Is it more likely to hit on a higher denomination?
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's your luck's has changed, and we don't know exactly how the programming works on those, but if I were to program a slot machine that had a maximum jackpot amount, the closer that limit, or the closer that jackpot gets to the limit, is shrinking the difficulty of getting it. If that makes sense. So that's how I would do it. So the closer it gets to there, your odds are improving over time to get that jackpot to trigger. That's how I would do it. Now, does it work that way? We have no idea. It could be the same odds up until the point where it's 80% there, and then it starts to change odds. They could be doing that, but we don't know. But that is it's a good tip if there's a bank of, say, 5 or 6 machines, and they all have must pay by jackpots. Play the one that has the highest amount. I mean, it just makes the most sense, But yeah, your odds do not change.
Let's see, Sean, you're in Utah. Your closest casino is Wendover. I know the payback in Wendover is pretty underwhelming. I mean, it's good for Nevada, but it's pretty underwhelming. I'm telling you guys, if you are in Utah, Colorado, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Montana, y'all need to come to these casinos in Wyoming. I'm telling you, I have never, and I'm not kidding you when I say I have never, in all the places that I have gambled, I have never gambled at a place that I have a 100% jackpot success rate. Wyoming. And again, guys, like we mentioned before, we cannot give you the exact numbers, but we have seen firsthand.
Yeah, they're good here.
There's good, there's great, and then there's amazing, really, really amazing. And these are really, really amazing.
Yeah, they're
just to
good.
Let y'all know.
Yeah,
so come to Wyoming.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're a high limit player, you need to come to Wyoming.
Absolutely.
If you haven't, you're missing out.
Absolutely. And Kevin says, how come casinos stop using coins? It could be because it is a slot technician's nightmare.
Yeah.
They break down, they jam, they have to refill the coins. It is just a nightmare to work with. And so even the casinos that do have them, they maybe have 10 at most, because it is a nightmare. It's your hands get dirty. It's just, that's the main reason. Plus it's slow. They can't do the ticket in, ticket out. You can't do free play on it. Things like that.
To do higher limits.
Yeah, it's just
stuff like that.
That's the reason they got phased out. So
the coins are really a novelty. I used to love the coin machines a lot, and now that I play higher limits, I don't want to ever deal with coins again.
Right. So, yeah. All right, we'll take just a couple more questions. We're coming up on the hour here. Let's see. Deftone says, someone is playing a $5 max bet on a penny machine, and the person next to them playing a $5 three-roll machine. Is the person doing the $5 denom getting more points, future free play on their account? I would say the free play is the same because it's based on it's a conversion. Like if for every $5, for every dollar, you get 10 points or something like that.
Point wise,
it's the mag.
The same.
Yeah, the points should be the same.
Yeah. Now the odds would be way different.
Right. Yep. All right.
So probably just do one more question, guys. So we apologize if we didn't get to your question. You can always come back, and then we have our Sunday show as well, so you can come on the Sunday show.
All right. Yeah, I can answer this question. So I heard on Wheel of Fortune 3-reel spin bonus, your prize isn't determined until you actually hit the spin button and the prize runs on RNG. That is true.
That is true.
And that is the same as Top Dollar and Pinball also. It is not determined. It's a separate random number generator stop whenever you push that button. So when you hit the bonus, it's initiating the bonus. It's already decided that, but then there's another RNG stop whenever you do some kind of action. Whether it's hitting the button to start it or you're picking the number of free games you want or whatever, that starts another random number gener process.
Exactly.
So all you've done is triggered the bonus, and that's all the machine knows on the pay tables, that you've triggered a bonus. And so that transaction is done basically.
Yep.
And then after that, it goes on to determine the bonus. So, all right, well, we were at an hour here. I know we kind of got slow starting and then it kind of ramped up, but hey, guys, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here again at the Shoshone Rose, and so I'll be here all week, and Brantley will be back on Saturday
for our giveaway.
For our giveaway that they're giving away a car. And then on Sunday, before I leave town, because my wife is coming in Sunday night, so before I leave town, we will do our Sunday live show on Cowboy Slots channel at our usual time, I believe.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys there. So come prepare with your questions, and we'll probably have some kind of topic. We have a couple days to figure it out. So
I think it'll be psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah,
Oh, player psychology.
Yeah,
that's
player
right.
Psychology.
That works for me.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. I've rebranded to just Home Slots, so we're not Home Slots Fun anymore. Thank you, everybody, for all your participation and love and subscriptions and all that you've given me so far. I really appreciate it. And we're just going to take this channel to the next level and see where we go. So Brantley, again, thank you so much for being part of this. And we will see you guys on Sunday.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Take care.